My daughter's now already crying. She literally got off the ride and fell to the ground because she was shaking so bad.
A fun trip to SeaWorld San Diego turned into a very scary adventure when we're told a so-called comfort belt came off a child during a ride while everyone was upside down. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Chiquetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel in for Marcella Lee. A mom and her daughter visiting from Arizona were on the ride when they say this happened to them. They're physically okay, but the video they took of their wild ride has gone viral.
CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes talked to that mom and joins us live now with what she had to say. Kirsten.
Yeah, the name of the ride is Electric Eel. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it behind me. It's right there at SeaWorld San Diego. On its website, the ride promises high-energy twists, loops, and inversions. But this week, an Arizona family says they got more than they bargained for when one of the straps on the ride came off of a young 10-year-old rider.
Hold on tight and remain seated with comfort collars secured at all times during the ride.
That's the statement Selena Higgins says should have been adhered to when she and her 10-year-old daughter, Ariella, were on the Electric Eel at SeaWorld. But if you take a close look at this video, you can see the comfort strap came off and you can actually see it flying in the air. Selena describes the moment she realized what was happening right in the middle of the ride.
I finally opened my eyes, and thank God I did, because that's when she started screaming and I saw that lap belt flapping in the wind because we were hanging upside down. Grab that comfort collar, secure it, and hold on for dear life because I didn't know if anything else was not working properly.
Once the ride was finished, Selena says SeaWorld staff added insult to injury for how they handled the scary situation for her young daughter, and as far as Selena is concerned, every other rider.
My daughter's now already crying. She literally got off the ride and fell to the ground because she was shaking so bad. She apologized, but then motioned for more people to get onto the ride. And I ran back over. I was like, you can't do this. This ride just malfunctioned.
Selena says park officials apologized for the inconvenience, offered her and her family 4 free tickets, and that was it. Selena says she wasn't satisfied with that reaction, and that's why she later asked for another manager to address the situation. Selena says the manager finally came over, but then humiliated her daughter, and her niece by eventually having them escorted out of the park. Selena says she is furious, and more should have been done to protect her family, and every other rider.
They needed to shut the ride down. They needed to, and I even asked them, I was like, are we going to shut the ride down? All they did was go over there and talk to the employee and said, hey, next time, make sure this doesn't happen.
We reached out to SeaWorld for a statement around 8:30 this morning. They just sent us a statement back about 5:50. I'm going to read to you what it says. It should be on your screen. It says, we take safety very seriously and understand that this guest perceived a risk that caused her concern. There was not, however, a safety issue during the ride. All rides and attractions, including Electric Eel, are designed, operated, and inspected daily in accordance with all applicable standards and manufacturer specifications. The harness this family is referring to is called a comfort collar, which is intended for the rider's comfort and is not a restraining device. The lap bar and shin bar are the only restraining devices on the coaster, and they remain securely in place throughout the entire ride. Signage at the entrance of the ride indicates that the comfort collar is for rider comfort only. Now, Selena says that Risk Management and other SeaWorld officials have also been in contact with her. She also says Cal OSHA, that's the organization that oversees rides on elevators or rides on amusement parks. She says she's been in touch with Cal OSHA, and we're waiting to see what they have to say. Again, now you may remember the Electric Eel was shut down just last year after a 20-year-old rider was hurt, and that's when Cal OSHA shut it down last year. We're waiting to see what happens this year, but you just got that email statement from SeaWorld. You can find that full statement on our website, cbs8.com. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. Some developing news north of San Diego in Riverside County, where crews have stopped the forward spread of a brush fire. It broke out around 1:30 this afternoon near State Route 79 and Paba Road. CAL FIRE says flames have burned about 100 acres, but the fire still has no containment. We're told evacuation orders in the area are still in effect while crews work to put the fire out. Stay with CBS 8 for the latest. A sexually violent predator will not be moving into Poway. Today, Mayor Steve Voss revealed the state has withdrawn its proposal to place him there. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedall was there for the announcement. She shares what people in the community are saying tonight and what happens next.
Well, we came to Garden Road Park because the community planned to rally against the placement of a sexually violent predator here in Poway. But just as things were getting started, Mayor Steve Voss said this.
I received confirmation that the State Department of Mental Health is withdrawing the proposed placement.
Protest turned into a celebration after Mayor Steve Voss told the crowd of around 200 sexually violent predator Merl Wakefield will not be moving into Poway.
Tears. I was absolutely thrilled. The stress and the anxiety was almost immediate released. I've tears of joy, and I cannot wait to tell my kids.
This is the Poway family. We come together. We don't take any crap from anybody. We let them know how we feel, and they heard us in Sacramento.
Mayor Voss says for days, he and others in the community have been making calls and making it clear Wakefield is not welcome here. According to the DA's office, Wakefield was convicted of sex crimes back in 1981 and 1990. He was diagnosed with a mental health disorder that made him likely to reoffend. The state proposed placing him at a home at the 15,000 block of Sycamore Canyon Road, about a mile and a half from Garden Road Park. Parents we talked to say they are so glad this community banded together.
You do anything you can to protect your children and your neighbors' kids.
You can't stop everybody from doing everything, but at least we can prevent people that we know do things like that.
And it's unclear if a court hearing scheduled for Wakefield, planned for next month, will go forward. We will continue to follow this story and let you know what happens. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Thank you, Kelly. And late this afternoon, the San Diego District Attorney's Office told CBS 8 that the August court hearing for Wakefield will remain on the schedule, but it's now a hearing to update the judge on where the state is at with finding him housing.
UC San Diego is partnering with the City of San Diego to focus on opioid treatment and recovery. The goal of the partnership, to break the cycle of addiction. City leaders will invest $350,000 they got from a settlement with drug manufacturers into UCSD Health. That'll let UCSD create a team of peer navigators. They'll identify at-risk patients in the emergency room and connect them with support and resources before they even leave the hospital.
This program not only has the power to save lives here in San Diego, but also to prevent the consistent revolving door of emergency room visits, which are incredibly expensive in both the emotional toll they take on human lives and the money they take for the citizens to pay.
San Diego got more than $1 million in the opioid settlement. We're told the remaining money will help fund other education and prevention efforts. Well, many are still feeling the heat, some more than others.
The National Institute on Aging says older adults are at higher risk of heat-related illnesses, even death. CBS 8's Abby Black shares how we can all do our part to check in on seniors to keep them cool, safe, and in good spirits.
Oh, hi.
72-year-old Robin DeWing says that he moves a little slow in the morning, but his mind is still sharp.
Good morning, Robin. It's Amy from Senior Helpers.
Hi there.
I just stopped by to check on you today since it's going to be so hot later.
Oh, well, thank you for the drop by, because every now and then you need somebody to circle around and see how you're doing.
Amy duels with Senior Helpers East County. They provide non-medical care to seniors throughout the year. In the hot summer months, heat prevention is a top priority.
We'll make sure that they're drinking lots and lots of water, encourage them to do that throughout the day.
The Army veterans heeding the advice.
Get whatever you have to do done outside early, and then you come in and you kind of like hunker down for the really hot summer.
Robin keeps his lights off during the day, has a window AC unit, 2 fans, and a sunshade in the kitchen.
Yeah, and I came here to help you and on how to stay cool, but you pretty much told me.
These check-ins help mental health, too.
Oh, yeah, they walk by, hi, Robin, and they wait and say hi.
Saying hello can brighten spirits for many seniors who feel isolated. Robin encourages seniors to get to know their neighbors.
If something were to happen, they would at least come by and check on you, and that check might mean the difference between life and death.
Robin admits that he has a good support system.
So look at the eggplants.
We were there when his breakfast buddy stopped by.
We normally go to breakfast Friday morning at 8 a.m. I pick him up at church.
John McFarland met Robin at church 15 years ago and checks in on him a few times a day.
Makes the right thing to do.
And it's the human thing to do.
One lady has a little baby in this, and I'll wave at her, and I stick my finger out, and she sticks her finger out, and she goes like that.
Sometimes that little touch
that does my heart good.
is all a senior needs to keep moving.
People need to remember that just because you're over a certain age, don't let that define you. Doesn't mean you're dead. Keep moving.
You may not always see a senior, but Robin's a reminder that seniors deserve to be seen. So whether that be a little hello, a knock on the door to check in, we all deserve to have a Robin in our life.
Hi, Robin. I hope you're watching and you're staying cool. San Diego County does have free cool zones, including the Borrego Springs Library, which is extending hours tomorrow from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. The county also has a program that offers free fans to eligible seniors and people with disabilities. We have those details posted on CBS8.com. Just click on the Help button.
I love to see people helping people.
Yeah.
Going by to see
building
people.
relationships. Hey, man, community and people around you, that lifts us all up.
Yeah, it's everything. Well, San Diegans are getting ready to kick off a week of Pride events. We've got the details still ahead.
Plus, why convicted murderer Scott Peterson was back in a California courtroom.
And what we're learning about the first wildfire death in California for the 2024 season as crews battle dozens of fires across the state.
And we'll take a look at the forecast. Moisture in the air. We're going to see that continue through tomorrow due to some monsoonal moisture. Then we're going to start to dry out as we get into Sunday. Temperatures are going to cool over the course of the next few days. Current temperatures along the beaches were in the upper 60s. Inland valleys mostly in the mid 70s. As we push east into the mountains, about 89 degrees in Julian right now and 110 in Borrego Springs. I'll tell you just how cool we're going to get, how long that cooling trend will last, and we'll take a closer look at your weekend forecast. Stay with us.